Guys, you all know what's happening in the crypto industry from past few days. Because of this manipulation, Bitcoin set a new record by creating a new bottom. Now, the two big players or rivals in the crypto industry, Binance and FTX, caused this spiral downfall. So, Binance is the world's number one exchange, and number two is FTX. CZ is the CEO of Binance, and SBF Sam Bankman is the CEO of FTX. And when they are in public, they act like they are chetty dost. But behind the scenes, they'll be biting each other's ass. So for few years, everything was nice and chill until Sam decided to take a dig at his rivals for their attempts to work with regulators. So on October 29th, Sam posted that excited to see him wrapping the industry in DC going forward. He's allowed to go to DC, right? So in other words, he was mentioning that CZ was banned. So this stupid move by Sam basically started the war. So few days later, after all this, and report about FTX financial balance sheet came out from CoinDesk. The report showed that FTX had a lot of money, but it was all somewhat locked up in token projects. The total assets was $14.6 billion. Out of this, $5.8 billion was locked in FTT tokens, $1.2 billion in Solana tokens, 3.37 billion in unidentified crypto yield, $2 billion investment in equity securities, and roughly there's only $2.2 billion in assets. And Almeida had only $134 million in cash on hand, okay, in June 2022. So even though they had like $14.6 billion, they couldn't sell whenever they wanted because those assets were not liquid. And also remember that $7.4 billion in there were loans. Now later, what happened was Dirty Bubble Media pointed out that FTX and Almeida Research might be insolvent, which means that their money was locked up and it wasn't liquid. So if something happens to FTX and if everyone starts withdrawing money at a time, then the company will be put into a situation where they couldn't pay. So CZ saw this as an opportunity to finish Sam. So CZ tweeted that as a part of Binance exit from FTX equity last year, Binance received roughly $2.1 billion equivalent in cash, BUSD and FTT. Due to the recent revelations that have came to light, we have decided to liquidate any remaining FTT on our books. So FTX financial balance sheet showed what? FTX number one holdings was in FTT tokens. So CZ told that he'll dump $2.1 billion worth of FTT tokens onto the open market. So later, what happened? The price started to crash and they don't even have liquid funds to compensate. And again, CZ mentioned that this is not a move against a competitor, but in reality, it was. So people started getting scared that FTX could become the next Luna. So what they did was they started selling everything and they started withdrawing money from FTX. Now, long back, before all this started, Sam gave a statement that many exchanges were secretly insolvent. Now, I don't know what kind of hypocrisy is this. Is secretly insolvent and is pointing out at others. And when someone questions his FTX insolvency, he used to give statements like Almeida is closely tied with FTX and they have $10 billion worth of assets that aren't reflected there. And they also lied that they've returned and paid most of their loans. So, with all these loopholes, they even offered CZ that they're ready to buy all the FTT tokens from him for $22 each. So, this move by FTX was to show that SEZ, we are strong and you can't do anything, and we are strong enough to buy everything from you. Then later, CZ was like, thanks, but no thanks. But we will stay in the open market, and later, he successfully crushed FTX. Now, so many people are questioning that if FTX had $10 billion worth of assets, then this crash wasn't supposed to happen, right? Now, the main question is what was FTX doing with the money when people deposited their money onto the exchange? Were they giving this money to Almeida Research for trading and making more money? Or are they investing on projects that cannot be liquidated on time? So, people were confident that FTX will give back people's money because FTX is strong. FTX stopped processing withdrawals and the team became silent. So, moving forward, after all this, CZ announced that FTX is asking for our help. There is significant liquidity crunch. So, to protect users, we are intending to fully acquire FTX.com and help overcome the liquidity crunch. So, what CZ did was he lit a fire to Sam's house, okay? And when everything burned down, CZ bought bucket of water, trying to be a hero. But no one knew that the bucket which he bought was not water, it was petrol. Then later, FTX Sam tweeted that, oh, thank you CZ for buying FTX that this. So when Sam tweeted this, CZ poured the petrol and told that, oops, We're not buying FTX anymore, and guess what? The market crashed. Then later, when everyone thought that, okay, everything is recovering now. Boom! FTX initiates Chapter 11 bankruptcy proceedings, and SBF stepped down as the CEO of FTX. Take again market crash. Now, after all this drama wasn't enough, and like a cherry on a cake, FTX gets hacked, and it was reported that approximately $600 million worth of crypto assets were stolen. And even Elon Musk also tweeted that FTX meltdown, ransack being tracked in real time on Twitter, and again this also impacted the market. Now, guys, FTX has created so much of nuisance in the cryptocurrency market, and you guys might be thinking that it's all CZ's fault. No, guys, it's Sam's fault. Guys, Sam took this lately, and before he used to tell that DeFi and crypto were Ponzi schemes.
Yeah, that's how I would have described farming. Like, you're just like, well, I'm in the Ponzi business and it's pretty good.
At no point did any of this require any sort of like economic case. It's just like other people put money in the box, and so I'm going to too, and then it's more valuable, so I'm going to put more money in. And at no point in the cycle did it seem to like describe any sort of like economic purpose.
Now, tell me, how do you trust a guy who runs a major cryptocurrency exchange but says cryptocurrency is a Ponzi scheme? Okay, later CZ tweeted that liquidating our FTT is just post exit risk management learning from Luna. Even though we gave support before, but we won't pretend to make love after divorce. We are not against anyone, but we won't support people who lobby against other industry players behind their backs onwards. So at the end, CZ won the war, and this might look like this is bad for the crypto industry. But guys, this is for the good. The more weak projects are finished, the stronger crypto becomes as time goes by. So guys, what all happened in this week? I explained everything in a simple manner in this video. Hope you guys understood the current situation. Okay guys, now in case if you want future trade signals, then do follow me on Telegram, okay? My Telegram channel link will be in the description of this video. Okay, now what do you think of this situation? And whose fault is this? Let me know that in the comment section down below, okay? And guys, please do drop a like on this video, and if you're new to this channel, then consider subscribing.